Welcome back to the shop. This is the project that I've been working on for a little bit of a while now. It's a walnut console, or you might call it a server. It has two doors on the outside. I'll be using the SAS invisible hinge, drawers in the center, walnut veneer on the outside, and it will sit in a solid walnut base. It's a little bit complicated, but I'm kind of breaking it down, and there'll be a full build in hopefully 2 or 3 weeks. But anyway, right now I'm going to be focusing on the adjustable shelf pins. Now, over the years, I've seen adjustable shelf pins with metal inserts, but I really never paid attention to it until I shot a video with Jeff and Rob from Green Street Joinery for Today's Craftsman just about 2 months ago. And now that I see how easy it is and just how much better they look, it's kind of hard not to go the extra mile and use them on every project going forward. So I didn't have some of the tools, the specialty tools or drill bits to use the adjustable shelf pins in the normal way, but I figured out a way to do it, and so that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. Before we get into it, I want to let you know that you can win a shirt like the one I have on right now. Over at Today's Craftsman, the latest video we just posted just an hour or two ago, and all you have to do is leave a comment. So I'll have a link to that video down in the description below, or maybe right here. Go leave a comment and you're entered in the giveaway. Very cool, comfortable shirts, and you could win one. So I have this adjustable shelf pin jig, but I kind of thought about this a little bit too late and I couldn't fit it into the cabinet. Also, I didn't have the appropriate drill bit for this size pin. So it turns out that you can use, of course I don't have it, I left the drill bit in the drill press from when I was making the jig. This drill bit is 13/64, and that's the correct size to get a nice snug fit with this particular metal sleeve or shelf pin insert. So to make the jig, it's as simple as putting this drill bit into the drill press so you get a nice straight hole. That's exactly what I did here. And then you want to cut a stick that will easily fit into the cabinet. It doesn't need to be a snug fit. This is maybe an inch smaller than the cabinet opening. I like to write the word bottom at the bottom of the stick. That'll prevent you from flipping the stick accidentally and drilling the holes wrong, and then your shelf pins won't line up, and that's a real big screw up, especially this far in the game. So you'll go ahead and drill your holes where you want them, an inch and a quarter apart. That's the same spacing as you have on this jig here. And then you'll want to cut a block and drill a hole through the block as well with the drill press. And this is going to prevent you from accidentally drilling through the cabinet. So if we put the block on the drill bit and then we put the jig on top like that, you can see that there's enough drill bit sticking out to drill a deep enough hole for the metal sleeve and also for the shelf pin. So that's how simple it is to make this jig, and then to use it, all you need to do is clamp it inside the cabinet, and I'll go ahead and do that just to show you exactly how it works. Because this cabinet is going to get a stile attached to the inside of the cabinet, kind of like this. This is my test piece to try to figure out what I'm doing with the doors here. I'm going to set the shelf pins back 2 inches. So instead of measuring, I'm just using a piece of wood. I'll hold that in position, and then I'll take my stick with the bottom facing down, making sure I'm flush at the edge, and clamp the jig in place and then drill the holes. I should mention that this spacer here is 2 inches, and at the back of the cabinet I'm using a 1-inch spacer. And that's just for this particular project. You can make them whatever size works for your project. See, I'm actually going to move this up a little bit because it's kind of close to the hole that I'm going to drill. So I'm nice and flush. and I can drill those holes. You know, I think I might have screwed up. I think this is too small. All right, I'm going to see if I can fix that jig. Turns out that 13/64 is too small. So I'm going to hopefully be able to make the holes a little bit wider in this jig, get the jig in the exact same spot, drill the holes, and hopefully it will all work out. The one thing I got going for me is there's a little flange on these inserts, and if there's any screw ups, hopefully this will fix them. All right, well, I'm happy that I left the fence on the drill press, and now I'll just go ahead and drill these out. It turns out that the 7/32 drill bit is a little bit longer than the 13/64. So I was able to find 2 washers that make up the difference, so I don't have to make a new block. I do have to drill through this block again though, don't I? I can probably do that by hand. Okay, that's what you want. It's a good snug fit that I can convince in there, but I don't want to put it in yet because I'd like to finish the cabinet first. Okay, so just a little bit of figuring things out with this one. That's usually how it goes in the shop. So I'll go ahead and drill the holes for the bottom. This is my spacer. This is just a 1-inch spacer. I've got my jig here with the word bottom on it, facing the bottom. Clamp that in place and drill the holes. Now, if all goes well, you could test your work, and you only have to measure the top hole. The center's at 14, and we come over here. What? No, I'm kidding you. It's also at 14. One of those days. Okay, well, that didn't go as smooth as I would have liked it to, but in the end, it all worked out, and that's often the case with woodworking. Not everything goes smooth all the time, as we all know. But definitely a big difference using the inserts. I put them in the holes over there. I didn't push them all the way in yet because I don't want to put them in until after the cabinet is finished on the inside, because once they're in there, they're really difficult to get out. So just a quick reminder, I hope that you'll head over to Today's Craftsman. It's a channel I'm building with Jeff and Rob from Green Street Joinery. It's really very down-to-earth woodworking. There's all kinds of great stuff. We've got big plans for that channel. I'm really excited about it. So the last video is Rob basically giving a review of the hammer sander. That is a new tool that they just purchased for the shop. So I was over there yesterday. We shot that video. And then I was on the first episode of the season for their podcast, The American Craftsman. And I'll have a link to that in the down below in the description as well. And as always, if you're looking for a furniture project, I hope that you'll check out my woodworking plans. I've got a ton of great furniture projects over there, and they all have free video tutorials right here on YouTube. So I hope that you learned a little something on this video, maybe a little bit of what not to do, along with some things that you might want to add to your next project. I will definitely be using these inserts on all the adjustable shelves that I use going forward. I just think it really classes it up. So that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. If you would like my help building the furniture for your home, I hope that you'll visit my website at johnpeters.com and check out my furniture project plans. With the large variety of projects and links to the video tutorials right here on YouTube, I know that you'll find something that will inspire you to spend more time in the shop and build something beautiful for your home.